So I hate this pattern. I hate Olga's pattern. I hate Olga's pattern. And I apologize to anybody who bought this stupid pattern because I suggested it.
Okay, Robin, you're doing too much.
So how do you feel about Olga's pattern, Robin?
Cheryl, not Cheryl.
Let's take a sip of tea of the town.
Okay, Caitlin, are you ready for a fun crochet drama?
Always ready for crochet drama.
We are calling this one, Your Socks Are Calling Me Fat.
Oh, yes.
It's real good. This I think I actually thought was really funny just because of the the clapbacks.
Okay.
The clapbacks.
I love a good clapback.
So here's who we're talking about today. So the first account we're talking about is Roaming with Rover. This person does crochet sales. So she sells yarn and crochet kits and hosts different events like live stream events, crochet-alongs. So that's our first character in the story. The second is Olga Poltava, and she is a pattern designer, very popular on socials.
Okay.
So she has 231,000 subscribers.
Oh,
very popular on Ravelry and Etsy. She sold over 30,000 patterns. So very popular and well-known pattern designer.
Okay, I love it.
So this starts when Roaming with Rover, who is run by a person named Robin.
Love the alliteration.
Yes, Robin roaming with Rover.
Yes.
We love it. So she comments on one of Olga's social posts about a crochet pattern, a sock pattern.
Oh.
She says, oh, guess what? We are making these in a crochet-along event on my channel. So Olga's like, oh, wow, that's so great. I'm glad you chose my pattern. Good luck and happy crocheting.
Fun.
So this is how it starts. So Olga's like, great, they're choosing my pattern for a crochet along. That's awesome. She goes and subscribes to the channel, just thinking, hey, I want to follow along because they're using my pattern. Of course,
Totally.
like you want to see how it goes. And she misses the first live stream, but she watches the recording. And let me show you just a little clip of how it goes.
The one that I chose to do that I am going to be using for our crochet along is one it's fairly popular. It's been around for quite some time. She has a few YouTube videos giving
a few. She's like
step-by-step
very popular.
instructions.
Okay.
So she's already kind of sending her
a paid for pattern on Ravelry, and I want to say it's in the neighborhood of $5. It's not overly expensive. And the older one, Miss Amber has used, and that's the one she uses. And she said it has a double thick heel, which it gives it more strength. Mm-hmm. This is the basic pattern, which is the one that I got a hold of. And then there's another one that I'm not even sure if there's a pattern for it. It might just be the video, and it's called for chunky foot. Actually, there is a pattern now that I think about it. It's for chunky feet, which is kind of misleading because honestly, when she starts talking about it, she made that pair for her dad, so it's just a bigger size is all. It's not really for heavier feet.
I think it is actually made for broader feet. I think chunky feet.
Chunky means like
struggling
maybe
with it.
thicker ankles, calves, things like that. That's why I said it's somewhat misleading in its title, but that's what she calls it, not me, her.
Yeah.
Deb has made this sock. Amber has made this sock. Several people have made this sock. I'm not in love with it. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm not in love with it.
Oh, okay.
I struggled with the pattern, although this is the pattern we're going to be following. The pattern itself is written fine. There's no problems with the writing of the pattern. Where I find problems is there's basically no instructions for making adjustments for size. Mm-hmm. Yes. And in my humble opinion, if you're selling a pattern, you need to have adjustments for sizing. And that is dearly lacking in this pattern. Now, several of us have gone round and round trying to figure out how to make this thing work. And so we're going to give you lots of hints and lots of clues on that. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So this is it gets shadier than this, but this is what Olga sees when she's watching the recording, and she's like, "Oh,
Oh. Yeah. And I mean, I'll say this. There was definitely shade thrown with that comment of like, oh, she's got a couple of videos, like,
yeah,
oh, her little channel or
Yeah,
whatever. I don't think what she said was particularly bad, in my opinion.
yeah,
I think, you know, especially if you're creating a ton of patterns, you're using them. Not everyone is gonna love every pattern that they use. And if she finds that it's difficult to make adjustments for size, I think that's worth, you know, mentioning. I will say if it were me, I maybe would have tried the pattern before reaching out to Olga and inviting her to do the live stream. Maybe
Right?
she didn't do that.
Well-
but I don't know. I probably wouldn't have looped her in on that.
Well, also, you are hosting this crochet along.
Mhm.
You picked the pattern,
That's true.
and you're like, I'm going to have everyone make this pattern and buy the pattern and promote my yarn so that you can buy my yarn kit to make the pattern. But then I'm going to like dog the pattern
That's true. I
in
didn't
the
think
first
about
live
that.
stream.
Yeah.
That's kind of, maybe you should have made the pattern first, or at least looked at the pattern. And also, I will say she's talking about like the sizing.
Mhm.
It lists very clearly in the pattern description that it is a sock for size 7 to 8. Women's
Oh.
7 to 8. So it's like very specific.
Yeah.
It's not vague at all.
Okay.
And so I think there was just a little bit of like, well, why are you using this pattern if you're going to pick a pattern that's for size 7 to 8 and then kind of just say like, oh, it's a bad pattern because it doesn't have extra sizing, but you've picked it for your crochet along.
Yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying. No, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So of course, Olga watches this, and keep in mind, she doesn't post herself on her YouTube channel. She's posting like the crochet instructions, and
Yeah.
she's not usually like face on camera. She fully gets on camera and does a response.
Okay.
And it's beautiful. So we're going to break it down. We're going to go through it piece by piece, and we're going to go through like how she breaks this down.
I'm so excited.
So this is part 1.
Hello friends, I know you did not expect to see me in front of the camera. I know you did not expect to see this kind of content, and this is not the kind of content I want to post on my channel. I'm not thrilled about making this video. I would rather be crocheting or filming another tutorial or working on another crochet pattern, but I feel like I have to make this video. Why? Because it took me such a long time and so much work to build what I have. And by that I mean my crochet business, my crochet patterns for sale on Etsy and Ravelry, and my YouTube channel. A couple of months ago I posted a video sharing that I reached 30,000 sales on Etsy, and I think that speaks for itself. Friends, you cannot sell 30,000 patterns if your patterns are poorly written and stupid. You simply cannot fool that many people.
And she's right.
Yes.
Like there's some fundamentals here that don't match up. Like, right. And Olga's defending herself. She's like, look, like it's popular because people like it.
Yes.
It's popular and it's downloaded a lot because it's good. And then you have someone who's hosting a crochet along who hasn't even done the pattern and then is like shading it the whole way through.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yes.
But there's more. So here's the next
In
part.
the video, Robin is referring to two of my patterns: Perfect Fit crochet socks and crochet socks for chubby feet. She calls my second pattern Chunky Feet, which is not the correct name, but that's okay. Little mistakes, no big deal. That's not the reason I'm showing you this clip. The reason is the second part of the video where she shares that the pattern does not have specific instructions on how to adjust for different sizes. Fair enough, she's right. The pattern is written for a specific size, and the instructions on how to adjust it to different sizes are minimal and not specific. Robin says in her video that they will try to figure out how to adjust for other sizes, and they will share it. Well, they will share that information with their crochet along participants. And that's where my mind was like, oh, you don't need to do that. I know exactly how to do that because I'm the one who created that pattern. I will tell you. I'll tell you how to do it so you can share it with your crochet participants. And this is where I try to reach out to Robin. So I go back to her channel and I type her a very long, very respectful comment in which I explain why I did not include the specific instructions on how to adjust for other sizes, as well as I write her this technical part, given her formulas, given her mathematical calculations on how to do it so that she can share it with her crochet along participants.
So I'm not going to read you the whole thing, but this is how long and detailed it is.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yes. So there's two. I'll give you the highlights of this. She was very detailed in it and very just like nice and open and hey, like here's how you would do what you're trying to do, which is like resize the socks.
Yeah.
And she says two things. First, she says, I don't include this in the pattern because she's gotten feedback that like it's really intimidating and complicated, especially for new crocheters to think about resizing. So because it involves math, like you have to, just change the stitch count and just I mean, it's not complicated math, but I think a lot of people are just like it feels intimidating.
I mean, any math for me, and I'm already starting to, get stressed.
Yeah. So she simplified the pattern by saying it's just a size 7 to 8 and reach out to me if you need any help with anything, and gives really high level instructions on resizing. Even though she has the calculations and she knows how to do this resizing. So what she does in this is she shares why she doesn't include it in the pattern because she wants it to be non-intimidating and simple and just lists as a size 7 to 8. But then goes into a great amount of detail in her comment and says this is precisely how you resize the sock. This is the calculations. This is how you calculate the stitch count. Like in a lot of detail, and just gives it as a comment in the YouTube video on the live stream recording so that anyone who's participating, and hopefully, like she said, she was trying to reach out to the host to say, hey, like you're clearly trying to figure this out. Here's how to do it, like in black and white, very detailed. So
I love that. I think that's a great response. I mean, I think that shows that even though they threw a little bit of shade her way, that she still wanted to make her pattern accessible to others. I think it makes a lot of sense as to why she didn't include the sizing in her original pattern and would make it just specific to whatever size you were trying to accomplish. Like, I, so far, am very much on Olga's side with this.
Yes. So let's keep going.
All right.
The point that I'm making is that I did my best to reach out to Robin and to provide her with the information that she was asking about, the information that was not in the pattern. I did my best to help them. And this is something I want to emphasize for all of you who purchase my patterns. In each and every listing on Etsy and on Ravelry, I say that if you have any questions, if you need any help with the pattern, feel free to reach out to me. I will be happy to help. And those are not just empty words, friends. I mean it. I give this promise to my customers and I stand by it. On a daily basis, I exchange emails with people who are reaching out to me with the questions about a specific pattern, who need my help, who send me pictures of their work. I do it on a daily basis. I mean it. I provide a lifelong support on my patterns to the people who purchase them, which means that as long as I am alive, you can reach out to me and I'll be there to help you. And if you go to my Etsy shop and if you read through the reviews, you will see the proof of it.
Okay, I just want to pause there because to point out, first of all, the listing that all of them bought has her saying, reach out to me if you have questions, I'm here. And she is very proactive, clearly, because she went and wrote that whole ass giant comment with math in it on your freaking live stream.
Yes.
Right? She try to help.
Yes, she obviously cares. And I really love that promise that she said, like, as long as I'm alive, you can reach out to me, ask questions, and I'm here to help. Like, I see somebody who very much cares about not just putting out patterns, but making them accessible to people and helping people along their journey as they learn to crochet and expand their skills. I think she's great, but I
Yes.
cannot wait to see the
Well,
rest.
let's watch the next clip from the next crochet along live stream.
Okay.
I don't like this sock one little bit.
Really?
Really? No, it's such a surprise. Ta-da-da. For the most part, they don't fit anybody. I have now made.
It's okay that it doesn't fit as it's written, but when you say call it the perfect sock, you would like some instructions on how to customize it to your measurement.
Just it, yeah.
A little bit more than it actually does. Like keep knitting until it's long enough, or crocheting until it's long enough.
This is
Or
after
wear
that
long
comment,
enough
the
too.
long
You
comment.
haven't told me.
What?
And add some more stitches if it's too tight. Well,
How many
where?
more?
Like not just
Where do
doing
I
another.
add
She did the math.
stitches?
Yes.
How do I make adjustments?
Okay. That to me, very catty, very shady.
Yes.
Because she made that comment and she
Yeah.
tried to reach out and she showed how to make adjustments. And the fact that they're still shitting on her pattern.
Yes,
Like-
and the pattern was listed for size 7 to 8. If you
Yeah.
don't have 7 to 8 feet and your whole crochet along is probably not going to have 7 to 8 feet, size 7 to 8 women's feet. Like, why? Like,
Pick a different pattern.
right? Like, what are you
Oh, this is ridiculous.
This is her response to that clip.
And that's exactly what I did.
Yes.
I reached out to these women. I wrote a very long, very respectful, very detailed comment.
Totally
giving
agree.
them instructions, mathematical formula, mathematical calculations on how to do those adjustments. To be fair, I don't think either Robin nor Cheryl saw my comment, because if they did, why would they proceed saying what they were saying about my pattern?
So I completely agree with her, right? I don't think they even listened to or were monitoring the comments which is wild because in a crochet along, you would think like, and they've said they're here to help. It's a crochet along. You're hosting it. Why wouldn't you look at the comments of the video to like make sure all your crochet along people are doing good?
Yeah, no, that just is weird to me. Okay, yeah, maybe she didn't see it, whatever. I still think it's weird that she continued with this same pattern. If she doesn't love it, then stop freaking using it.
Right. And also there starts to be like comments from people before Olga ever posted anything or after the comment was posted, but before she posted this rebuttal video, some of the crochet along participants were already calling out like, this is very negative and I don't like it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because it's a weird vibe to be like, you picked this pattern. You're also now not doing the due diligence between the crochet along weeks to like, okay, if you're having trouble with it, then take some time, figure it out for your crochet along participants, and then come to the table with some real advice and tips, not just complaining about the pattern that you picked.
Yes.
You
Yes.
know?
No, exactly. I would be kind of irritated if I was following along and watching this. I'd be irritated if I were Olga. Like I'm not loving
I'm not loving
Robin's
it.
responses.
Robin and Cheryl are definitely shading a lot.
Yeah.
And I have a weird reaction to seeing Robin and Cheryl because there's a part of me that's like, okay, respect your elders, and they feel a little bit like they don't really know how to do things quite right. And there's a certain like I tend to feel really bad in those scenarios or like feel empathy for those people. But like they're shading hard. They're mean girling really hard in these videos. And it's just, I think especially because they're selling yarn, like they're hosting these crochet alongs and they're promoting, their yarn shop. So they're wanting people to buy their yarn. So which is why they would be hosting this. And at the same time, they're like really not doing their due diligence. They're just complaining. It's odd. It's real odd.
It's weird. I'm just not a fan.
Yeah. So here's our next clip.
So I hate this pattern. I hate Olga's pattern. And I apologize to anybody who bought this stupid pattern
Oh my
because I
God.
suggested it.
Okay, Robin, you're doing too much.
So how do you feel about Olga's pattern, Robin?
Cheryl,
hate
not
Olga's pattern.
Cheryl.
We could throw the thing in the garbage and do something different.
Girl.
Just
Yeah.
pop me a picture of whatever your debacle is, or if you manage to finish something,
Oh my God.
It's
whether
so
it
bad.
fits or not.
So long as it looks like a sock.
As long as it's some resemblance of something in the sock family. And it doesn't matter what part you chose to
bad.
play with.
We should have started with booties, like little ones for kids' feet, something.
Well,
like
there
that.
was no sizes for that. Now, was there?
Oh my
Uh,
You got one
God.
size
Tone
option,
of
and that was
voice.
it.
Yes.
So first of all, not Cheryl with the clapback. How do you really feel about this
I
pattern,
love
Robin?
that. But like, Robin, girl, you are doing too much.
Yeah.
Like, okay, correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe I'm confused about the situation, but were these not two different live streams?
Yeah, they're two different live streams.
So
Yeah.
then why are, if you hate the pattern, why are you using it for, because maybe I'll excuse it for the first one. Maybe the first one
Yeah.
you didn't really know. And then as you're knitting
Yeah.
along, you're like, oh, this is not my favorite, whatever.
Mhm.
But you did it again.
Did it again.
You went a little too hard
Mhm.
on
Mhm.
just crapping all over Olga's pattern.
Yeah.
Has also been nothing but kind and
Yes.
trying to be helpful. She did the whole breakdown. I'm just like, Robin, like, get yourself together.
Get
girl.
it together. And you're right, because even with the first one, she selected the pattern, promoted the crochet along, and gave people enough time to like buy yarn and have it shipped and be ready for the crochet along. She should have been prepared. She should have done it even for the first live stream. So even if you excuse her for the first one, again, it's a week between these live streams.
Yes.
You should have done some due diligence and figured it out so that you can come back to your crochet along participants who you're promoting yarn to.
Yes.
And have some tips and something other than a bunch of complaining about somebody who just is doing their thing and putting patterns out for a women's size 7 to 8. Now you're complaining that they don't have baby booty sizes.
No.
It's just weird.
It's insane. 100% agree with you. That, oh my goodness, that's crazy.
It's weird. Okay, so here is Olga's response to that clip.
Now this is the point where I'm going to defend my pattern.
Good, as
It
you
is
should.
not a stupid pattern, and it is indeed a well-written pattern. And Robin can hate it all she wants, but there are many people who completed this project who crocheted socks from my pattern and were able to adjust for their specific custom fit, and they were happy with the pattern. And here is the proof.
So this is where I start to love Olga, right? Well, I already loved her.
Yes.
But she proceeds to go through all of her comments and reviews and read out loud a bunch of the reviews that are like, this was so easy to follow. It's like clearly shade against Robin. Like, you can't
Yes.
use my pattern, who everyone else thinks is good and easy. So she just goes through and starts reading out loud. This is so easy to use. Thank you so much. I'm on my 3rd pair. This was so fast for me. This was the easiest sock I've ever made.
I love it. Basically saying like, girl, I think this might be a skill issue.
I think it's a you issue. And she did it without saying it, which I freaking love.
Beautiful.
It was so beautiful. So she just goes through and starts reading these out loud. And of course, they're patterns with really good reviews.
Yeah.
And a ton of really positive comments. And a ton of successful projects, and it makes Robin look real stupid because
I love it.
She's like, I can't figure out how to make this sock. It's trash. When like every other person is like, this is the best pattern I've ever made.
Yes.
You know? So that is Olga's response, which I thought was just beautiful.
Perfectly handled.
And of course, it doesn't stop there. Let's watch the next clip of this live stream.
Not only does this sock not fit, she has another pattern, another paper pattern in another size. Let's talk annoying, which I bought, and it's one size bigger. Now this all fits And of course, she
Yeah.
calls it fat foot sock, the chubby foot sock. Not okay
I
with
thought
it.
it was all about chunky feet.
So this is where she gets like real personally offended because it's like, I bought this other fat foot sock
For my fat ass foot. Like,
She
kind of love
mad.
it.
She's
furious.
so mad.
I don't know. Maybe you could argue about the like chubby foot sock naming or
Yeah,
whatever. But at
yeah.
the same time, it's just like I see somebody who is trying to account for different feet
Yeah.
sizes and shapes and
Mhm.
everything. And I think Robin just wants to be a hater. Which
does.
don't get me wrong. There's a time and a place. There's definitely
Totally.
times where I love being a hater and just leaning into that side. But like, I don't think this is an appropriate situation
Not
for it.
at
I don't think it's warranted hate
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So not a fan.
Love her. The fat foot sock. Just like, this is where, I feel like she is personally offended or wants to be personally
Yeah.
offended. So she's like, your sock is calling me fat and I don't like it.
It's so funny.
So, of course, this is Olga's response to that clip of the video. So, I will caveat also, she says earlier in her response video that English is not her first language.
Okay.
And so she might not have understood the like connotation of the word chubby.
That's true.
Which she goes into detail about like the history of the naming. So she probably was real caught off guard by, I don't know this for sure, but that's sort of what I took from it by her like sharing that with everybody.
Okay.
But this is the history of how she named the sock.
I'm going to share with you how that second variation came to be and how the name came to be. I'm going to play you a little clip from my vlog style video back when I was making those socks.
Now let me show you the pair of socks that I'm crocheting. I'm making these socks for my dad. I spent the holiday week with my parents, and during that week I crocheted this first sock, constantly trying it on my dad. And my dad was really excited. He was like, "Are you making these for me? Wow, thank you so much." My dad goes fishing quite often, and in wintertime it's really nice to have a warm and cozy pair of wool socks when you are outdoors the whole day. The construction for these socks are exactly the same as my previous pattern. The only difference is the amount of stitches. As you can see, this sock is quite wide, and that's because my dad is an elderly person and he has feet that are plump, and even his doctor told him to make sure that when he wears socks they are not too tight over here, because that can affect the circulation in his body. So yes, I'm making a pair of perfect fit socks for my dad. They are quite wide. I think I will make a tutorial for this pair of socks as well, because not everyone has skinny feet and there are people out there who might benefit from this pattern, just like my dad. So I think I'm going to name this pattern and the tutorial as socks for elderly people.
So there is a personal story to the second pattern. My dad is in his late 70s. He has diabetes, he has other health problems, and he experiences swelling of his feet. And that's why he was so grateful that I was making socks specifically for his swollen feet, because the store-bought socks were always too tight for him. When I posted that vlog video, I got a comment on it that I really liked, and I'm going to read it to you. Hi Olga, I'm so glad you will continue your channel. I've only made a couple of your patterns but found them wonderful. I plan to make another pair of your socks and would love the tutorial for your dad's socks because I have chubby feet too. And here is my response. Hi, Happy New Year. I'm so glad to know you enjoyed my patterns. The tutorial for the socks will go live tomorrow, but I'm going to change the name of the pattern to Socks for Chubby Feet. That's a cute name. I like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you see, friends, there wasn't anything mean or malicious or offensive in the way that the name of the pattern came to be. And I still don't see anything wrong with the name of the pattern. And I think Robin took offense with it because she simply wanted to be offended.
Yep.
She already hated the pattern and she just wanted to find another reason to hate it and to be angry.
Okay, it's so much more context. I mean, the fact that she made it for her dad, for his feet, where like, and I know this, I have friends with diabetes that sometimes their feet can get swollen. And then the fact that somebody else in her comments was like, I have chubby feet. And I do think chubby feet is kind of cute.
Chubby feet is cute.
Yeah, so I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Fat ass feet, and I'd be like, chubby feet socks.
I think it's really cute, and I can see that she had no malicious intentions.
Yeah.
Not trying to body shame or foot shame anyone, and I think she's 100% right.
Yeah.
That Robin was just looking to be offended, and I think sometimes there are some people who are just like always waiting to be like, you know, just offended or hurt by something so that they can lash out.
Yeah.
So I'm with Olga on this.
100%. And if you remember, I want to point something out to you. If you remember in that first clip that we watched of Robin sharing the pattern, she said, oh, there's 2 versions of the pattern. The second one was made for her elderly dad. And so she knew the story. How else would she know? It's probably in the pattern description. She knew.
And still decided to be offended that the socks were calling her fat. I don't like it one bit.
No.
I think Robin at most is entitled to say wasn't my favorite pattern.
Yes.
You know, I found it a little bit challenging.
Yeah.
I think those are all valid things, but to be like, I hate it. You're calling my foot fat, and just to go in to me that crosses the line.
Too much. It's too much. Okay, so let's watch this next clip.
We live in a free country, we have freedom of speech, and Robin is free to express her opinion. And I'm equally free to respond and express mine.
Yes, you are,
Here's what
Olga.
Robin has to say about my pattern.
It's a poorly written pattern. That's the bottom line. It's a poorly written pattern. And when it's a paid for pattern, it should not be a poorly written pattern. I'm sorry.
She's
That's
just dogging
reality.
it so hard.
Thank you, Robin. I hear you. Now let me return the favor and express my thoughts on your crochet-along. It is a poorly run crochet-along.
Oh, girl.
First, when you invite people to join your crochet-along, when you ask them to invest their time to purchase the yarn that you are selling, you really need to do your work to prepare for this event. You need to work the pattern before you even announce your
Yes,
crochet
absolutely,
along.
Olga.
If you have worked the pattern ahead of time, you would have gotten a perspective on whether your crochet skill, knowledge, expertise are up to the pattern that you chose, and whether you will be able to guide and provide pattern assistance to the people who are participating in your crochet along. You did not do that.
100%. I love her. I'm here for it. Perfect clap back. She's 100% right. I
Yes.
do not disagree with her.
Yes. The shade she's throwing back is perfectly beautiful.
Yes.
She's like, you think my pattern is poorly written? Your crochet along is blah, 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 blah. She's like
Love it.
going in point for point. Like,
Beautiful.
it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. So this is where, like, I just love Olga's style in this video. She's going in. She's got receipts. She comes up with the screenshots of her comments.
Yeah.
She's like, she's so methodical in the takedown, and I just think it's beautiful.
Oh, I love
I think it's a masterpiece.
Absolutely.
So let's watch the next piece.
Oh, there's more.
Masterpiece.
Second, when you run a crochet along on your channel, make an effort to read the comments that the people are leaving you, that the people who participate in your crochet along, people who watch your crochet along left for you. You did not do that. And finally, please do make an effort to remain composed and respectful.
Yeah.
It is okay to express your dissatisfaction, disappointment, criticism of someone else's work, someone else's pattern. But please do it in a calm and respectful way. The words you choose, the attitudes you express, first and foremost are going to reflect on you as a professional and as a human being. I'm going to run it one more time.
It's a poorly written pattern. That's the bottom line. It's a poorly written pattern. And when it's a paid for pattern, it should not be a poorly written pattern. I'm sorry. That's the reality.
It's a poorly run crochet-along, and that's the bottom line of it.
Period.
When you run a crochet-along on your channel, it should not be a poorly run crochet-along. I'm sorry, that's just the reality of it.
Oh, how I love her. That is a master class
Yeah.
in how to respond
Yes.
to shade. Because
Yes.
at no point was she saying things like, oh, I hate your
She's
run along. She's calm, she's cool, she's collected.
Mhm.
She comes with receipts. She points out very valid criticisms along the way. I just,
It's beautiful.
Beautifully handled.
This is why I love this story so much, because Olga is a boss. Olga
Yes.
is like, I love Olga so much for this.
Love her down bad.
And how she just broke it down in a way that's like undeniable, like called out the hypocrisy, called out the incompetence in the most like, no, it wasn't even like, you can't even accuse her of being mean. She's just like,
No.
these are the facts.
Yes.
Like, yes, Olga.
Yes.
So that's our friend Olga. And that's the drama of the crochet along. And of course, this was, this had a bunch of commentary videos created about it. Everyone kind of agreed with Olga, of course, because obviously who couldn't? So this leads me to a proposal. You are probably gonna hate me for this.
Oh my God.
Okay. This is my proposal. We try crochet.
Oh my.
You're gonna hate me for this, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
No, I think honestly, I think it is about time because we've made quite a few fiber art videos. Because what I think we didn't realize when we started this channel, we thought like, oh, we're just gonna hop around a bunch of different communities, which we still have.
We
and
have.
still will.
Yeah.
What we didn't anticipate was how much drama there was in fiber arts specifically.
Yes.
And I think we have been like running parallel with this community for so long. I think we have to. I think we owe it to the fiber artists in our comments finally, because I know there's also been times where there have been like where our ignorance has showed.
Oh, 100%.
And we've been corrected, which we should. I love the corrections. Like, please let us know.
We appreciate it.
We are not experts at this or anything, honestly. Okay, I agree with you. Let's do it.
So I guess I don't need to like walk through my proposal necessarily, but I'm still going to. Okay, point number 1, obviously the tea.
The tea.
There's so much tea.
There's so much
And
tea.
love the tea. Like the amount of love I have for this community just because of the way the tea goes down.
Yes.
Like it's undeniable. So that's my point number 1. Point number 2 is obviously the community. We love the community.
We do.
All the people in our comments, we love. There's just been I'm like obsessed with this community because it's very tight knit.
Oh, I love it. No, it's true. They show up, they show out. I feel like there's even like a handful of people that I've definitely seen that are regular viewers.
Yeah.
I'm just always so excited to see them.
I am
up,
too.
and I'm like,
Yeah. So we love the community. We gotta be part of it.
We gotta be part of
The only
it.
way we do it is by learning a fiber art.
No, I'm 100%.
Okay. Next point is the fashion.
Oh, the fashion. Obviously.
Obviously, I love crochet.
I do too.
I love the way it looks. I love the way it feels. I love all of the creative piece. I love even like the cute little stuffies.
Yes.
I love it all.
Well, and something that I think is so funny is, so we were actually out shopping just the other day. And now it's like anytime we see it, you immediately were like, I think this is crochet.
Yeah.
And I was feeling it and I was like, I think you're right. It's crochet.
This is what we do when we're out together now. We're like,
we're like
detectives.
looking for it. So no, fashion, yes, 100%.
The fashion, and then of course the health benefits. benefits.
The health
Okay,
benefits.
so there was a study done recently
Okay.
about crafting, and they specifically included like fiber arts crafts and a couple of other crafts also, and they did like a health study, and apparently it's correlated with health benefits.
What?
Yes, because like especially with knitting and crochet, like you're engaging both sides of your body because you're doing the crochet situation. You are it's like it's good for your brain because you're engaging in like this work. And so actually it used to be crochet used to be assigned as like a therapy for soldiers who came back from war and had what was called at the time shell shock.
Yeah.
It's now known as PTSD.
PTSD.
They would use this as a medical treatment
Oh,
to
that's
learn how to crochet.
fascinating.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So if we want to live long and prosper,
Which I do sometimes.
we got yeah.
There's times where I'm just like, but most of the time.
Most of the times we want to live long and prosper. So there's health benefits.
Okay.
And then also lastly, the lore.
The lore.
Right? We've done some history episodes.
Yes.
It's rich with history, rich with historical drama,
Yes.
which is even better. So,
I'm sold.
okay. So I of course have.
Oh, are we doing this now?
We're not doing this right now, but I do have beginner crochet kits for each of us. This is this is like the easiest peasiest. It has all the things.
Okay.
It has the needle, it has the yarn, or it has the hook, it has the yarn.
Oh, I'm
and it has instructions for like doing a square. Like we're just gonna start.
We're just gonna do a square. I'm
the
gonna do a
easiest, easiest. And so what I think we should do, right? So what I think we should do is like we should each try it, and then like maybe set up your phone and record yourself trying to do it, and then people can shade us because obviously we're going to be really bad at it, which is totally fine. Roast us, please do. If you don't, we'll be disappointed.
I'm 100% aligned with this. I'm absolutely going to do this.
Okay,
This is
good.
so fun.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Okay, we're gonna do this, and then we should post the videos. Maybe we'll post it on our community page.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you want to follow along with our fumbling ways, learning how to crochet, subscribe. Look at our community page. We'll post there. Maybe we'll post on Instagram too.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll keep you updated on our journey.
I love this. Oh my God, it's gonna be so bad, but the content's gonna be good.
Embarrassing but great, I think.
Exactly.
And if we get good at it,
If we get good at
like
it.
here's my brain going like, but like I could make a crochet dress.
So I think my problem is that I have unwarranted like confidence
Same.
in doing anything. Where I'm just
Yeah.
like, well, of course I can do it.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes I need to be humbled, and I
Yeah.
think this is the perfect
We're about to
opportunity
be-
for that.
We're about to be humble.
I'm so excited
So
about that.
I did crochet when I was a teenager for a very short amount of time, and I got like I wouldn't say I got good at it, but I got proficient in the basics. Proficient in the beginning. Okay, I'm not even gonna say proficient. That's exaggerating. I made like one scarf and one hat, and I was very proud of myself, and it didn't look great, but I loved it. So I don't know if that's going to help me at all in this, but I am very excited to do it.
I will say my exposure to crochet is I remember like back in the day, I think there was a young women's activity.
Yeah.
And I did like a chain. And that was when I was maybe 13 and I didn't get any further. And then another time was our company during like COVID had tried to do this like craft along if you want to, where they sent us chunky yarn to do a chunky blanket, and it was like finger crochet.
Yeah. Finger.
And yeah, where you just do it with your hands. And I was so bad that I couldn't figure out the second row.
Oh no.
I had like gotten to the first row and they're like, okay, now do the second one. And there was a live instructor walking us through it. And even still, I was like, I can't do this. So I ended up bringing over the yarn to my neighbor who she knits and crochets. And I was like,
Yeah, but you did it.
this will suit you better than it did. So take this. But I'm willing to give it another go.
Okay, we got to give it a go. Even if we suck at it, it doesn't matter. We're going to try.
We're going to try.
We're going to give it the old college try. So
I love this. I'm so excited.
okay, so if you followed us along to the end of this video, we're going to do a new thing.
Yeah.
So if you followed us to the end of this video, we greatly appreciate you watching us and we
Mhm.
love you very much.
Yes.
So drop a yarn emoji in the comments to let
Mhm.
us know that you made it to the end. And we appreciate you so much. So cheers
Cheers
to
to Olga and cheers to
Olga.
crochet.
and cheers to all the fiber arts girlies.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Let's take a sip of tea of the time.